Good day, this is Peter Sinclair, and today I'd like to show you the sound system we set up at the Tamworth Sports Dome. This is the main rack. At the top is a Bosch PLM 8x8. It's a digital sound processor which allows the sound from any of the 6 or 7 zones to come in, and they can be sent out to any of the 7 or 8 zones in the centre. Underneath that is an RF transmitter for augmented hearing, and people can pick up a little receiver with a neck loop. Underneath that is a wireless mic, and that is used in the show court for when they have big events. Underneath that is a hearing loop amplifier for the hearing loop system in the show court seating area. Underneath that is an amplifier for the foyer area, and underneath that is an amplifier for the big spherical speakers in the centre of each court, which we call the hemis, and also for FBT speakers which are pointing at the seating area. I'm now standing in the show court. We have a hemi speaker above us. We have 3 FBT speakers pointing at the seating. Under the seating there is a hearing loop. We're now in the hall with courts 1, 2 and 3, and behind me is a seating area for that hall, and we've got a hearing loop in those seats. This is the control room for courts 1, 2 and 3. It has a paging mic which goes to show court seats, control room, court 1, 2 and 3, court 4, 5, 6, the outdoor courts, the foyer. So you can push a button to where you want to speak to, and then once you've decided where you want to speak, you get a little tone and you can make an announcement to where you want to make an announcement to. There's also a tone generator, so if you want to signal that a game is over, you can push the button and it'll sound whatever sort of tone you want it to sound. They're connected into a little mixer, and also into that mixer, if you want to, you can plug whatever you want to plug in, and so you can play music or whatever you want to play. The mixer we've just seen is connected to an amplifier which runs the 3 hemi speakers in courts 1, 2 and 3, and also to an RF augmentation hearing device, so people can use the little receivers if they need to. I'm now walking through the foyer where we've put ceiling speakers, and also in this area there's a sound augmentation system using RF. We're now heading towards the Tamworth Regional Sporting Hall of Fame. I'm now walking down the Hall of Fame towards courts 4, 5 and 6. This is hall 4, 5 and 6. The cable run to this hall is a long way, it's 150 metres, and instead of running audio cable all the way down, we utilised the installed fibre optic cable using audio to fibre transmitters at one end and audio to fibre receivers at the other. There are 3 hemi speakers in this hall, one above the centre of each court. This is the control room for courts 4, 5 and 6. The rack has an amplifier for the indoor courts, hearing augmentation RF transmitter for the indoor courts, an amplifier for the outdoor courts, and another paging mic where they can talk to any of the areas within the sports centre. We installed music quality speakers for the outdoor courts, and they augmented the small speakers that they had already installed in the centre, but were bouncing back on the building. Because this is a public building, hearing augmentation is considered very important. There is a counter hearing loop for people when they arrive, and when they move away from the counter, they can put on a neck loop and receive an RF receiver. There is RF transmission in all areas. The hearing loop, whether it's the portable one or the fixed one in the seats, will connect to the T-switch in their hearing aid. The whole system is controlled via a laptop or an iPad or a phone using the PLM 8x8 software. What you do, you think of yourself in an area. You could be in the foyer, for instance, and then you can choose the music that you want. At the moment we're listening to music from Sally, and if we turn that up, we should get music from Sally. So you can send any audio signal to any zone at any level. So that's the system we installed at the Tamworth Sports Dome. If you want a sound system in your facility, please let me know. Peter Sinclair, Onstage Presentations, 0418 22 0016.